and welcome to Season 1, Episode number 37 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host, Travis McNeil, and today we continue our countdown of the top 50 matches of 2020 with match number 14 on our list, which is actually the first rematch on our list, as this pairing appeared earlier on in this countdown. This is the rematch, this time for the World of Stardom Championship between the champion, Mayu Iwatani, and the challenger, Takumi Iroha, from the Stardom Goddesses of Stardom Tag League 2020 night number 4, held back on the 18th of October. If you watched my video about the previous match that these two had in February, you know that I loved it. This one was even better. It was more physical, it was more engaging with more drama, and they did so many just kind of little small, subtle things that just added to the overall package. And the first thing right off the hop that impressed me with this match is Stardom is known to, have these pre-match promos, and it's Joshi, so, everybody is, spunky and bubbly and just, full of charisma, and they cut these wonderful promos. But prior to the match, Mayu Iwatani chose not to comment. That's actually the thumbnail, screenshot that I chose for this video. It was just simple white text on a black background, and it just immediately established that she is taking this match very, very differently than the initial contest they had, where, let's be honest, Iroha basically, demolished her. And they pick up that tone right off the hop. As soon as the bell rings, Iwatani goes, and tries to put the fight to Iroha. She goes for a Hurricane Rana very early on, which is one of her signatures. Iroha almost counters it, though, into a powerbomb, which is how she beat Mayu in their initial match. And from there, Iroha just demolishes her again, just beats her down brutally. She's so menacing, she's so intense, she's so smug and arrogant about it, laughing and smiling and ticking off the crowd, but she does so in a way that's not comical in any way, shape, or form. It's scary, right? She's just so good, and Mayu is, again, so good from, fighting, underneath. But this match is a little bit different because she doesn't just play, the resilient, plucky, scrappy babyface, which I'll get into momentarily. So very early on, though, Iroha just, like I said, destroys her. She goes after the leg and the ankle. She puts her in a figure four, and she just smiles the whole time while, the juxtaposition is Iwatani just, grimacing in pain, trying to get the ropes. She puts her in a horse collar, then swings her around, kind of like giant swing style. That was just wild. This all builds to a hope spot for Mayu, though, where she hits a dragon screw off the ring apron, and that's what kind of brings her back into the match. So it goes for Iroha's knee after getting her knee worked over, and just how this is presented is done so well. It's Japanese wrestling, you see all the time. Seconds are a big thing, right? People have stablemates or young boys or young women or whomever at ringside with them, and they generally a lot of times they don't do much, right? They kind of just bang on the mat maybe, but Stardom utilizes these seconds so well. So immediately after that hope spot from Mayu, her seconds are over there, and they're putting ice packs on her knee, and they're giving her a drink of water and spraying the cold spray on her, and it's just so wonderful, and it's a great visual, and really adds to just how in danger this woman was, and how much she was beaten down prior to that. From there, though, the match does shift a little bit. Mayu realizes that her aggression early on in the match was not the way to go, and she made that mistake and almost paid for it and got destroyed. So she just avoids everything Iroha starts throwing at her. She hits a huge super kick, and she hits a crazy, very Hiroshi Tanahashi-esque, flying crossbody from the top rope to the floor. That flips a switch in her at that point where she realizes that she has Iroha on the ropes a little bit, and she gets this kind of killer instinct to her that, she maybe didn't have at the start of the match when, she was trying to bring the fight, but now she does, and it's so awesome. There's a spot where Iroha hits her with a big superplex and she turns it into a guillotine choke, right? Almost no selling the superplex. She absorbs, tons of strikes from Iroha. She hulks her up and hits her with, Chigusa Nagayo's running three, right? Like the crucifix bomb or the awesome bomb that, I talked at length about in their initial match. That was a key part of that story. So she starts to rally a little bit. But again, Iroha takes back over using her strength and power. There's just another awesome visual. This match is full of great visuals. There's one where she does like a wheelbarrow German suplex and Iwatani's just flailing around, during the duration of the move, and it looked awesome. This leads to a part where, they're kind of on the mat, just trading slaps with each other. And, Iroha is kind of, doing her intimidation stuff. And then Mayu starts laughing, which has been, Iroha's signature kind of throughout these two bouts of, almost like disrespecting, Iwatani in that way. And she starts laughing and she starts, slapping Iroha around and kicking her while she's down and stuff like that. And like I said, it kind of develops this killer instinct of, maybe this is what I need to try to beat this woman. I have to play on her level. The finish that they go into is it's absolutely breathtaking. So Iwatani starts going for her Hurricane Ranas again, and this time she's hitting them and snapping them off and getting near falls. She tries one from the top and just gets destroyed with a super bomb from Iroha for a really, really good near fall. But again, she's trying all of these Hurricane Ranas, and then she finally goes for one, gets power bombed, right, taking it back to the start of the match and taking it back to the finish of her first match. Iroha then hits, the running three, right, gets the crucifix bomb, which has been, the story throughout. But then she makes a critical mistake. Whether it was just the frustration of Iwatani standing up for her and not taking her bullying tactics and, trying to fight right back the same way, or, and she just wanted to give more punishment, or maybe, Iwatani's shown her fighting spirit throughout and not staying down and, surviving the super bomb, that she thought it maybe wouldn't be enough to get the win. But after she hits this, the running three, she goes and she stacks Mayu back up like she's going to hulk her up for another power bomb. And in one last act of desperation, Mayu takes her over with the head scissors, basically a Hurricane Rana, and it's just enough to hold her down for three. It was an incredible finish. Iwatani finally pulled one out over Iroha. Iroha again loses nothing in defeat, kind of the fluke-like nature of it. So they leave the door open for a third match, a rubber match down the line somewhere, which I really, really hope that we get to see. Even if it's not for the title, it doesn't matter. I want to see these two lock it up again. This match was amazing. If the first one, was very Vader versus Sting-esque, this was even better. If their initial match was, the Super Brawl 2, if you want to make the comparisons where, Vader just steamrolls Sting and wins, in dominating fashion. This was very much the Starrcade 92 where, for the King of Cable, where Sting, fights back and just has a new intensity to him, and ends up pulling off the win. So this match is absolutely fantastic. It's available on Stardom World. It is well worth your time, and it's even better if you watch their February encounter first. Please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, though. Follow on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling50, and join me again tomorrow as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50.